Hello friends, this is Ganesh. Hope you're doing great. And in this video, I'm going to explain two different concepts in OData Servers. One is system alias, another one is how to authorize an OData Service. So system alias, you always know once you started registering the OData Service, you have to give a name in the system alias input field. It could be a local if your servers you're going to register in the same system where you generate the SEGW project, or it could be a different name other than local if your service is going to be generated or registered in a gateway server where your SEGW project is designed in ECC system. So if it's a two different server, obviously the system alliance name is a different because the communication is going to happen between the gateway server and the ECC server. Okay, if the servers is in the same system, it could be ECC or it could be a gateway server. Your SEGW is generated in the same system, and in the same system you're going to register your OData service. Then the system alliance is local. Okay, so today we are going to see about those things and where to maintain the system alliance, and there is an option called trusted, non-trusted. So many things we're going to see about system alliance, and followed by the authorization, because the trusted connection is also lead to an authorization place. So I'm combining these two topics in one slide. Okay, let's get into the slides first. Okay. So first I'm going to register my OData servers in the ECC system itself. So this is a gateway service, not a server. Every SAP system by default you have the gateway servers. So if you want to register in the same system, then the system allies is local, right? So I have a ECC. It's not only ECC, it may be any other system. Even I mentioned it could be a gateway server also. Sometimes we generated a SEGW in gateway server itself, maybe for a practice, and created a service. Okay, so it doesn't make only you have to create on ECC, then only the gateway service is available. It's not like that. Okay. So once you want to do in the same system, you want to register OData servers, then your system alliance is local, and then RFC destination is none. Okay. So if you get into the proper place to display, to view the live system alliance details, then you're able to see these two. What is the name and what is the RFC destination as well. Okay. So the next one is, if it is an OData service registration in a gateway server, but the project is generated in ECC system, then it's going like this. I have a project, OData design, everything in ECC, but the service is going to be generated in gateway server. In this scenario, the system alias is going to be a name. It's generated or created by your basis or security person, and the RFC destination is going to be your ECC system. Okay, so system alias is going to be the name what they provide, ECC connection name. Then RFC destination also is created by them, and they mapped between these two. So RFC destination is always pointed to ECC system. Okay, so this is a basic idea about system alias, whether it should be when you have to use local, when you have to use a name, means the system alias connection name for your backend system. Instead of ECC, I can say backend system. Okay. So furthermore, where I have to see or maintain a system alias, so this is the path you have. So SAP Gateway NetViewer, SAP Gateway, and configurations, and then connection settings, then SAP Gateway to SAP system, and there is an option called Manage SAP System Aliases. So you have to execute this. It will take you to the relevant page where you can see the existing system alias, how they mapped, and you can create a new system alias if you need. So if you want to create a new system alias which is pointed to a backend system, better make sure you have a RFC connection before you create a new system alias for your backend system. Okay. So I will show you once we done with the PPT. So next one is when authorization requires. Okay, so I have OData servers. So on what basis the authorization triggers? So authorization is nothing but if the service is not authorized for a particular user, very technically the service is not included in the role of the any SAP user, or you will get a message called user doesn't have authorization. Okay, so it means the service what we generated, it's not authorized for every users to execute. Okay, so that authorization, when this authorization triggers on what basis, that we are going to see here. So if there is a ACC and this screen is from your RFC connection, okay, and this is not applicable for local. So the authorization check is not applicable for local because it doesn't have this SM59 in place. Okay. So in SM59, the RFC connection, while you create a RFC connection, there is an option called trust relationship that is coming under a tab called logon on security. So if they are saying trust relationship is S, meaning just trust whoever comes, whatever is trying to access, just trust everybody. Okay, so that is the meaning of trust relationship. So trust the connection, yes, but this is not the safer side, meaning it allow everybody who have the link, they're able to get the data from your backend system. Okay, that is the meaning of this yes. So other way is, okay, for this kind of connection, authorization check is not required because we are saying we are trust everybody. Okay, that's what trust relationship is. Yes. The other way is trust connection. No. So trust relationship is no. So we are not going to trust everybody. So who has an authorization to access backend system via this OData service, only those user can able to access the data. Okay, so that is the meaning. We have to say trust connection is no, and if, whenever there is a trust connection is means the RFC connection is developed with this option trust relationship is no, those OData service is required authorization check. Okay, so technically we call these two communication as non-trusted connection, this one, and this is a trusted connection. Yeah, this is a non-trusted connection because whoever has a link, they can able to access it. And this is a trusted connection, and because whoever have an authorization, only those able to access data from the backend system using this OData servers. Okay, any OData servers. And when these two are required, in typical scenario, every client has these two connections for the same backend system. So non-trusted connection and trusted connection also. So mostly non-trusted connection is used to so it's very useful mostly for the initial testing of your business scenarios. Okay, because trusted connection requires some steps to be done from the basis on security because it's going to be like a transport level. They have to move from development to quality to production, right? So in that case, the initial testing while creating design the project, we go with they use this non-trusted connection, and trusted connection is all the security pieces are in place in the quality system, then we just change the connection to trusted. But some scenarios or some client, they have the trusted connection from the day one for the OData servers. If that is a scenario, always you go with the trusted connection. Okay, it depends when you want non-trusted, when you want use trusted connection. Okay, it's very simple. If everything in place, because in development, whatever you're using, it doesn't make big difference. But in quality, once all the connections, all the security settings are in place, then preferable you go and use trusted connection. Okay. So now, so this is a way it's actually designed from the system Alias, and you have had RFC Destination SM59, and in that there is an option called trust relationship. You have to say yes or no. This normally is a security person's job. It's not yours, but as a developer, if you get a message saying the user doesn't have authorization, then you have to check what type of connection you created for your OData servers, and is if it is a trusted, so make sure all the security pieces are in your system, then only you are able to use the trust relationship. So okay, so what is the security pieces, we'll see in the further slides. And if you are using a trusted connection and the security piece is nothing but the OData service is not mapped with the role, very simple, okay? And the role is not mapped with your user. These two steps are missing. So if this is missing, then you are getting this error saying that user does not have sufficient authorization to access the backend data using this OData service. So authorization check needs to be done for your OData service. So every new OData service require this authorization pieces to be in place. Okay. Now come to that security pieces. What needs to be done? So first we have to create a role for your OData service with the help of PFCG. And if you have two different systems, ECC backend system and your gateway server, and this role needs to be done in both your backend as well as your gateway, because you have the OData servers, it's available in both the systems, so you have to do that one. Okay, the first one is it's like go to menu. Okay, so here go to PFCG. It could be your backend or it could be your, excuse me, your gateway system, because the service is available in both the systems, right? So first go to menu, and you have to use the here normally there is an option called transaction. What you have to create, so you have to create the authorization default option, and inside you have to use these two things, program, and this is for SAP gateway client, and then your service name along with the version. Okay, it's through F4 you can able to get it. Don't give only service name, you'll get an error. So once you're done with this is basic step in PFCG, and go to the authorization tab, this one, go to the authorization tab. Okay, a point over here is okay, every version must add. Okay, that's right. We had a previously one video called data versioning. Okay, sometimes we have a scenario where the same service with a different version. So meaning every version has to be added in the authorization role, because the name is going to add it with the service as well as the version name. So suppose the next you're going to have the same service with a different name, different versions like 2, 3 or 4, then again you have to do the same PFCG for your next version also. So that is the meaning of every version of your service also coming under this authorization piece. Okay, next go to the authorization tab. So in that there is an option called like you have to create a profile and you have to add your authorization data. So once the profile is existing one, you don't worry about it, it's automatically added, or you have to create a new profile for that. And once it is done, automatically this is in place. So what is the program and what is the type of check flag, everything is in place. Okay. This is the configuration data you have seen once your profile get generated under the authorization tab. So this needs to be done in both the systems. And after that, you have to assign the particular role to your user. So it's SE01 and go to roles tab. You have to add it, whatever role you have created, you have to add it under this role. So once it is done for the particular user, then he has access, if the connection is trusted, and he has access to get the data from your backend system. So this is the steps you have to use to create a system Alias with a trusted connection, and you have to make sure you created a role for your OData service, maybe with a different versioning also, and the role is mapped with your user. Okay, so once it is in place, yes, user have a sufficient authorization to access the data from your backend system. Yeah, that's it. We'll see in the system how to design a system Alias and how to go with, how to create an authorization for a OData service. So this is my system. So go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG. We are going to see the system Alias, what was so far maintained, and go to SAP NetViewer and SAP Gateway OData channel, then configuration, connection settings, connect SAP system to SAP system, and here you have manage SAP system Alias. Just click. Okay, so here we are able to see different system allies so far who are already created, and if you see the local, so here they mentioned local. Normally RFC destination is none. This is just a rental system. They created their own system RFC name. Let me see some RFC destination. Yeah, this is local. Okay, here it is. Normally in real time, they just used to create the local system allies with RFC destination none. The reason behind is in the same server, you're going to create your OData service. So it doesn't require any RFC destination for that. If there is a difference, your backend is different and your service is going to be in a gateway server, then you need a RFC destination. Okay, so this is for local. And if you see something else, maybe a different backend, so consider there is a different backend system. So maybe like this, and you might see a relevant RFC destination is also mapped here. Okay, then close this. 1 second. So if you click this, it will take you to the RFC destination. So I'm going to pass my recording because it shows the initial screen of the, not initial screen, it shows the technical settings of the system. So for a safer side, I'm just pass that. And let me go to the logon security and show you where the trust relationship option is available. Okay. Yeah, oh here. So if I select, it comes to your SM59 and what is the connection and everything. And technical settings you use to give the details of your backend system to connect. And here they mention trust relationship as yes, meaning they're going to trust whoever has this link. Okay. So this is technically we call it as non-trusted connection. So if it is a yes, you don't worry about the authorization. Whoever have a link, they can easily access that one. Okay. And we need something like it has trusted relationship is no. Let's see. So this system S4H800 RFC, it has a it has a trusted relationship mentioned as no, meaning this is a trusted uh, relationship. It has a trusted connection. So whatever OData service you created and you're going to use this system allies, you have to do all the PFCG and assign the role to your user. Then only the user is able to access the data with the help of that particular OData service. Okay, let's see this one as well. So here you go. So trusted relationship is no. Okay. So this is a way it's classified whether you have a trusted connection or a non-trusted RFC connection. Okay, very detailed names like trusted RFC connection or non-trusted RFC connection. Okay. So hope this works and you have some idea about now about the system allies. So if you want to create your own, yes, you are able to add it. Just click create new, whatever if you want the system allies name, RFC destination, and system already target client, everything you have to create it. And excuse me, mostly we don't have an access to do this. Based on security will take care of this part, but at least you have a display option. You just go and see what kind of system allies or configured. Once this is ready, then go to your gateway server and assign or use this system allies for your OData service. Before that, if it is a trusted RFC connection, make sure your OData service is created or done with a role and the role is mapped with the user. So now we are going to see how to add OData service into a security role. It's coming under PFCG. Okay, just close this. So let me have one OData service. So here I don't have a different system. I have everything in one. So this is my S4HANA. I treated this is my backend as well as my gateway server. Consider two different systems into one. Okay. So I'm going to show only the PFCG for my OData service and role and map it to the user. Okay, but I'm not able to execute this and showing user doesn't have a authorization for the OData service because everything is in one. Okay, so let's go to PFCG. So how to create the role. I think I have few auditor service in the system which I have created, so I'm going to use that one. So for you, for your testing before come to this PFCG, make sure at least you have one auditor service in the particular system. It's already registered. That is very important. So go to maintain service, transaction, add service, and everything. Okay. So once it is registered, yes, you're able to do that over here. Here I got to use CGI. So I have a role. Okay, let's see. OData role, and I'm going to create it. Okay, the description is optional, so I'm going to menu directly. And in the menu, if you want to save it, okay, just save it. Okay, so here you have an option. Just click this down arrow. It will give some options for you and select this authorization default. And you will get a different window, pop-up window. And authorization default, so here the option is TADIR service. Okay, and it automatically it select program ID and then object type as SAP Gateway Business Suite enablement. So that's nothing but IWSV selected. Okay, now enter your service. So here don't enter or copy paste your service because it won't accept it. It needs a version also. Better you select your service from the F4 help. So I have OJ star F4. Yeah, these are the services. Okay, so program ID and object IWSW and object name is service along with the version. Okay, so let me have this one, double click. So it has to be like this. Okay, so if you enter only the service name, just copy paste or enter, so it shows service doesn't exist. So it needs a version as well. So that is the reason is always better to pick it from the F4 help. Okay, done. Just click copy. So, and all the details are like you are able to see this one. So, normally in real time, there is one role they define for a project. Okay, it's not like every OData service has a different role. Okay, it doesn't make a big difference. So, they have to create one role for a project. Under the project, whatever OData service is going to come, they have to add it one by one. Normally in real time, if you open a role for a project level, you can see list of menus here, means list of services are listed here, whatever is applicable for the particular project. Okay, and then so we are done in green, and then go to authorizations. Okay, so here you have to create a profile name. Maybe initial time we have to generate a profile, but going forward the profile is maybe after I'm going to add one more OData service under the same role. So profile name is already available. So just click. I created the profile role, and okay, save it. Then if you want to see the authorization data, just click change authorization data. You're able to see it's all in place. Okay, so we have done, meaning we have added our OData service under the role. So we almost done. Now this role, okay, sorry, I need to generate it. Okay, here it is. Okay, so you have to generate the value, whatever you have done here. So profile were updated. Just go back. Okay, so we are done. Now the final step would be this role is going to be assigned to the user. It's nothing but /row su01. So here this is my user and go to display. Okay, I have to change it. Go to roles. So you have to add it. Over here, you have to add your role, whatever we have created. So normally we don't worry about it. These are all taken care from the basis of security level. So okay, so here I'm going to add my role. This is the role which I created. Okay, it's done. Let's see here. It's added successfully. This is the one. Okay, and save it. It has changed. So now if you, sorry, technically if you go and or you or the user, whoever has this role, they're able to access the data from the backend using this OData service. And the system Alias, hope everyone knows that. Just a quick reference. So once you add a system, once you add or once you register your OData servers, so maybe here, let me check. Sorry, not this. And okay, normally you have to see the system Alias here. It's already configured, already added. You're able to see. Suppose you're going to see some existing services where the system Alias, whether it's a trusted, non-trusted, local, everything you're able to see here. Okay, you can have multiple system Alias. Normally in real time, you can have like I need trusted, I need non-trusted. Okay, so you can add it. Let me show you that. Let me add something to my service. Add service F4. Normally, technically, it should be local because I have only one system. Let me have something new here. Default client 400. Let's see. Will it work? Because my service should be in that system RFC. Yes, I don't have. So better, I'll go with local. So I don't have anything. Every service, I think it's added. Okay, at least some here. So see, a few services not added here. So I'm going to add this services with some system Alias. Okay, maybe I can use this. Select it. I want to show you, you can add multiple system Alias. One is for non-trusted, one is for trusted. Normally not for local, anyway is not applicable. Consider local is a, excuse me, the service and the project is in the same system. So here everything is fine. Go with local object and continue sales. Okay. Yeah, it's created and loaded successfully. Continue here. Now go back and find the service. It's a JI star. Yeah, this one I recently added, and you can see my system Alias is local system Alias. So if you want to add a system Alias, just use this option. And one more thing is, this is kind of a configuration level because configuration settings or configuration transport I'm saying. So if you want to move this kind of information, suppose I want to change the system Alias from trusted to non-trusted or vice versa. In that case, what you have to do is you have to record this change in a transport request and you have to move to the quality system. So make sure, because sometimes what happens, they move all the services by they forget to move this change to the quality system and they're getting some of the different error. Okay. So now I'll show you, you can remove this also. You can remove using this system Alias, yes, or if you want to add a system Alias, go here, continue. And this is a service name along with the version. Okay, I'm going to copy this and currently I have only one system Alias. So go to new entries, paste it, and I'm going to select some other system Alias. Maybe consider that is a trusted connection. Okay, I saw something is for 800. I believe this is a trusted connection and I can say this is a default one. Save it. And by default, it has to be saved in a transport request only, and this is a customizing request. Continue. Okay, Done. Now go back. So now you're able to see two system analysis, and now I'm going to keep this as my default one. So trusted is my default one. So maybe initial design, I just tested and everything with non-trusted connection, because what happens is if it is a trusted, authorization is not in place. So UI person is not able to test your service. Okay, they will get always user doesn't have authorization, or they're not getting data from your backend, so it delays your project. Okay, so for that normally we have two connections, non-trusted and trusted. So go with non-trusted if the security pieces are not in place. Once everything is done, just swap the connection from non-trusted to trusted and save it, send it to the quality for further testing. Okay, so go back. Now you can see some listed system allies in your servers. So two things. Okay, and if you feel I don't want this, just remove it. That's it. Okay, so now you have only one connection, trusted connection. Maybe the final move for your service is only trusted connection. Okay, so hope this might give some idea about how the system allies work with your RFC connection, and some idea about trusted RFC connection, non-trusted RFC connection, and how to include your OData servers for a role, especially for the authorization to get the data from your backend system. And I want to show you the standard help documentation for this process. So how to enable your OData service to the end users. So that's available in the sap.com. That gives very clear steps what needs to be done. You just search, okay, just search in a Google like how to authorize OData servers. So you'll get this, mostly you'll get help from the SAP Help.com. So here you can say it's like backend server assign OData service authorization and what is the procedure. So once the OData is ready, you have to go to the PFCG and menu authorization default and choose the servers, and you have these are the two options. By default you will get the program ID and object type, you have to choose with this one, and then you have to enter the OData service name. So this is the first steps, and repeat the steps 2 to 4 for all the services of the catalogs you want to authorize with the same role. So that I mentioned, mostly the role is generated for the project level. So all the OData service coming under one role. Okay, and then go to the authorization tab. You can see, you can just create the profile for the initial time. Once you're done, you have to go to the change authorization and you have to generate it. Okay, so this is, I can say, the one level of configuration stuff we have done. The another one is whatever you have added in the role that needs to be added in your user as well. So user maintenance. Also they mentioned clearly, go to SE01 and go to authorization tab, general profile, generate a profile. These are the initial steps actually. And then go to authorization data and you have to use generate symbol. And this is also to generate the details of the user. And after that, once normally we have to do for the existing user, so go to the user, existing user, and in the role, assign the role whatever we have generated in the previous step, assign to the user level. Okay, so that's why they mentioned clearly over here. So just go through this, and if you have any doubt on this process, or if you want any understand about the system analysis, please let me know. And thank you so much for your time, and see you in the next video. Bye.